Okay, welcome to Physics 114. This will be the first half of Lab 2, the blue lab, and we'll be looking at keeping track of how things move. So, to do that, we're going to use a motion detector. So basically it sends out pulses of ultrasound and then waits for an echo and times that the pulse versus echo and comes up with a distance. And so we're going to be using these black plastic boards to create an echo and thereby get some clear data, hopefully. Okay, so the lab after saying a bunch of nonsense that we can ignore, says, okay, what we want to do is start at the half meter mark and make a distance time graph walking away from the detector slowly and steadily. Okay, so let's get the half meter mark. So go ahead and all right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back and forth until, I'm about at half a meter. Okay, so I can use the motion detector itself to get that half meter mark. Okay, and so then I'll go ahead and collect again. Okay, so I'm moving away slowly and steadily. Actually, I'm doing a pretty good job, I'm surprised. Okay, and so one thing to notice is that towards the end we have these little spikes. What's generally going on there is that it's really hard to hold the board precisely perpendicular to the motion detector, and so basically the sound will echo off the board but go off in some other location, and the motion detector will miss it and miscalculate, and so that's how those spikes show up. But we can pretty much ignore those. So this will be the graph that you will do on this first graph. And so basically what you want to look at, okay, so first of all, what you want to look at is just things qualitatively. We're not going to be doing things quantitatively. But also, I'm going to say, okay, so there's that first little part between like 0 and a meter where I was just standing there. I hadn't started moving yet, and since the lab specified that we want to look wanted me to move slowly and steadily, basically I would say look at the data after a meter, and that's maybe like between a meter and 7 meters. Did I really go that far? I don't think so. But anyway, oh, that's time. Okay, so, excuse me. The time after a second. Sorry. Okay, so between a second and 7 seconds, and that will be the data that you'd actually want to pay attention to. All right. So yeah, this stuff right here, that's where I'm moving slowly and steadily. This is where I haven't started moving yet. All right. So the next part, it wants me to move away with moderately fast. So let's find the half meter mark again. So go ahead and okay. Okay, so you can go ahead and stop it because I found it. All right, and then I'll move with moderate speed. Okay, so the thing to notice here is not just the abundance of spikes, it's the fact that my graph is wavering all around, and that's because I didn't move steadily. And so rather than accept this data, I'm going to try again and see if I can get more steady motion than that. Okay, so let's do this again. Go ahead and hit collect. Okay, so hit stop, and then collect again. Okay, so I did a much better job of doing steady motion this time. As you can see, I had to stop before time ran out, but let's... Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay. All right. So basically, that is the graph that we have for question 4, part B. All right. So now I'm going to start from a more distant place and move forward slowly and steadily. So yeah, go ahead and hit collect. Okay, so there's the graph for part C. And so now for part D, I'm going to start far away and move forward, moving quickly and hopefully steadily. Okay, so that's the so basically this part between a second and about 3 seconds, you know, that is the part that we should be paying attention to. That's what I'll be calling the region of interest. Okay, so so that, you know, there's the data that you need for question 4. And then, oh, well, let's see, excuse me, part 4 of the first activity. That's really what it is. Okay, so then we'll have, you know, question 1, question 2 that you need to answer, and then we will have, you know, the second activity. There's a prediction part. That's a little bit tough. So if you're willing to play fair, I would say pause the video right now. Look at prediction 1-1 on this page, and so draw what you know. Read the description. Draw what you think will happen, and so basically the description is. Okay, so we'll start at a 1 meter mark, walk away from the detector, slowly and steadily for 5 seconds, stop for 5 seconds, and then walk towards the detector quickly. That's the, those are the instructions. So given those instructions, say what you think that the graph will look like, and when you've done that, go ahead and start the video again, and then we'll get the data. And in order to get the data, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change to open, and I want away and back. Open. No. Okay. All right, so now I've got 15 seconds on my clock there, so that will afford me the ability to uh, follow the instructions because we wouldn't have had enough time with the earlier graph. Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and hit collect and we'll find the 1 meter mark. Okay, so I need to get closer. There we go. Okay, thank you. So go ahead and stop it. And start it. Okay, so I need to go slow. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and start it again because I screwed up. Okay. Close enough to a meter. I'll count it. Okay. Stop. And then go fast. Okay. So there's the data for for this portion of the lab. All right, and so you can answer the questions based on that. Okay, so now we're going to do the position matching. And so let me grab the file for position matching. Open. Okay. All right. So now we've got this purple line on the graph. And I'm going to try and match that purple line. Okay, so go ahead and hit collect. And so I'm going to try and find the starting point. There we go. I'm at the starting point. Okay, so go ahead and hit stop. And collect again. Okay. Well, that's kind of questionable because, as you can see, the line that I created is far below the line that they gave me. So let's start this again, and I'll try and do better this time. Overshot a little bit there. Oh, that's not good. Okay, here's the thing. Notice that when I was moving about the same as I did the other time. But that made a graph that was too steep. So, so I covered too much distance in a small amount of time. So that means that I need to adjust my my motions accordingly. So go ahead and hit collect. There's an art to this, which my students master, but I never have to. Yeah, I screwed up at that one corner, but I'm going to let it count. So, okay. So basically, what you need to do then is watch how I moved, see what the differences are. When it refers to the sloped portions, what it means is this this portion and this portion. Don't bother looking at the horizontal portions when you answer the questions. Okay. So the next portion, I'm supposed to come up with my own graph and see if I can make that graph. Let's see. Let's see here. two-dimensional thing? Maybe. Probably not. Let's see. Okay, so let's suppose I go like this, then this, then this, then this. There we go. Let's see if I can produce that graph. Okay, looks like I've given myself a challenge here. Let's see. Okay, so I need to find the 4-meter mark here. It's probably going to be back here. So go ahead and hit start so I can figure out where I need to start from. Yeah, further away. That. There we go. Okay, hit stop. Okay, go ahead and hit start. Too fast. Oh, oops. Start too soon. And I'm having a hard time. Okay, that was terrible. Let's try this again. I'm going to say that's good enough. So, okay, so there was that. All right, so we've got 3 more graphs I need to duplicate. But these involve curved lines, not so much straight lines. So let's see how that pans out when I try to make those. So I'll go ahead and hit collect. Okay, so I have to move extremely slowly at first. Then things pick up. Okay. Not too bad a match, I don't think. Okay. Put my students to shame. Okay, there we go. All right. So keep in mind how I moved in order to produce that graph. Okay, so go ahead and let's do the next one. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. Now go ahead and hit collect. Yeah, I think that's close enough. Okay, so looking at that, I kind of produced the essential components of that graph. And then finally the third graph. Okay. So I think I got the idea well, with that one as well. I spent a little bit too much time actually making it, but you can see that I've got the essential shape. So observe carefully how I moved and answer the question. Answer the questions based on that. All right, so that's the first half of Lab 2, the blue lab. Go ahead and do the analysis and turn it in the usual fashion. And remember, JPEG or PDF. Okay, so see you next time.